Welcome to Marine Tech Talks with HYDAC. Here we talk about maritime technologies. On board with us today is Benjamin Herrling. Thank you so much for coming. Today we talk about a topic that is on everyone's lips, sustainability. Around 80% of world trade is carried by sea, and this leads to immense burdens on the environment, with approximately 1 billion tons of CO2 emissions per year. And that is why draft legislation is being discussed in the international arena to reduce emissions in this specific sector. The aim is to be climate neutral by 2050. But how can this work? Today I invited my colleague Benjamin Herrling to talk about this topic. Benny, you have been with HYDAC for around 10 years. What is your field of expertise?
Yeah, hi Celine, thanks for being here. Thanks for the invite. Well, I work for HYDAC Process Technology, and I am a sales and project manager for marine process fluid filtration. So when it comes to filtration of water or any other fluid you can imagine on board a vessel, that is my major task. So for example, ballast water treatment systems or scrubber systems, but also for lube and fuel oil systems. So filtration is my major task at HYDAC.
Thank you for the introduction. As you all know, a lot has happened in recent years in the maritime sector. How do you personally perceive these changes in the market?
Well, the market is heavily driven by external influences or political requirements. These keywords like sulfur cap 2020, or you mentioned it earlier, net zero by 2050, all these bring new requirements to this market as well. Being it alternative fuels like methanol, hydrogen, ammonia, etc. And all these new alternative fuels bring, of course, new requirements to the market and to our products there as well. So you see, the entire industry for the political requirements is heavily driven on these things, and that's one of the major topics we are working with today at HYDAC.
Talking about requirements, what requirements are now being placed on ships, especially with regards to the major issue of decarbonization?
Well, it's a good question. Basically, merchant vessels as well as passenger vessels are being equipped with the latest technologies these days, and all that with the outcome to help the environment. So we need to have a cleaner things on board the vessels as well, so burning cleaner, in order to reduce the greenhouse gases. That's in everyone's mind. So and this can be achieved by either using proactively used systems, for example, adding additives to the burning process itself. So most of the people know that basically from the automotive industry, where we call it AdBlue. We have the same thing in the maritime industries, where we add urea to the burning process in order to reduce the NOx content of the vessel. But also, we're talking not just about proactively system, also about systems that are after the burning process. For example, exhaust gas cleaning systems or other systems that reduce the carbon footprint of a vessel.
And you just mentioned the topic of exhaust gas treatment. Do you see in this specific field any hidden potential?
Of course we do, since these new alternative fuels bring also a little bit of problems with it. Being it, for example, the availability of alternative fuels is still not there where we all wish to have it, as well as, for example, the energy content of alternative fuels compared to the heavy fuel oil we are using. And this is why exhaust gas cleaning systems are more important than ever, because it's not just that they reduce the sulfur content of the exhaust gas, they also provide positive side effects, such as particulate matter reduction, for example, or they also help to prevent acid rain.
So maybe we can dig a little bit deeper into this specific topic. Do you have maybe a project in mind when it comes to exhaust gas treatment?
Of course. I mean, just pre-COVID, which had a very, very huge impact on the maritime industry as well, we have been able to equip hundreds of vessels, for example, with filtration for exhaust gas treatment systems. And so the exhaust gas treatment system or cleaning system is there to wash out the sulfur content from the exhaust gas when you use commonly used fuels like heavy fuel oil, for example. And you can imagine, or you can pretend to be in a shower. So the exhaust gas is coming from the drain, and you have the shower head, and the shower head sprays the wash water on the exhaust gas. And by doing this, you wash out the sulfur content from the exhaust gas. And that's what we call SOx reduction. And the finer the fog or the droplets are from the shower head or from the nozzles, how we call it, the higher the efficiency of the reduction, because you have an even spray pattern. So you reduce or you increase the surface area that is washed out, and then you have a higher efficiency. By using our filtration technologies, we are trying to prevent these nozzles from clogging or from changing their shape due to wear, for example. Because you can imagine if you have lots of wear, or if you have lots of wear to the nozzles, the spray pattern will be different, and then you might have the scenario that the filtration, or not the filtration, but the efficiency of the cleaning is dropping significantly. And this is one of the major projects we had in the past, and we are still focusing on with our filtration technologies in order to help then basically to reduce carbon footprint.
Mm-hmm. And now we've talked a lot about the optimization of existing machines, but alternative fuels are also part of the discussion, and you already mentioned them before. And for example, I'm going to Norway soon, and their electrical ferries are already in use, especially for person or like passenger transport along the fjords. And they've proven themselves. So how do you see this topic? What do you think about it?
We've talked a lot about alternative fuels already, but it's also alternative propulsions, as you just said. So those ferries that are going in the fjords in Oslo use mainly electrical propulsion. So e-mobility is a big topic here, but mainly for short-term passenger vessels. If we talk about merchant vessels, like the big container vessels that go around the globe, we are more focusing on other things, and that's where we are going to alternative fuels again, like methanol, ammonia, even hydrogen. It's big topics. And for all this, e-mobility or hydrogen, we do also offer our products in terms of temperature sensoring, in terms of pressure sensoring, logging data, mounting equipment, all you can think of. We're trying to focus on that as well. But it's not just components for these topics, it's also entire systems. We are basically able to offer with HYDAC, and I guess that's a unique selling point for HYDAC.
And from your point of view, or let's say HYDAC's point of view, what do you have in mind when it comes to the filtration of these alternative fuels?
Of course, we focus a lot on superior filtration technologies, especially for the alternative fuels like LPG, LNG. We've named them a lot of times today. But the problem with these alternative fuels is that they tend to be very dirty fuels in terms of particle contamination. So be it from the tank ships or from the piping systems whatsoever. And ultimately, these contaminations can lead to component failures or to system failures, or in the end to severe engine failure, which we really try to avoid, of course, because that's nobody wants that. And that is one of the reasons why we are trying always to focus on these major topics and always trying to improve our technologies, to see the demands that are coming from these new requirements, trying to improve and trying to help our clients in that business in order to always deliver superior filtration technologies there.
And apart from these filtration issues we've just discussed, are there any other innovations or approaches to reduce the environmental footprint? I mean, as we all know, HYDAC is also a big player in the hydraulic sector.
Well, to be honest, hydraulics is not my special task at HYDAC, but I know, of course, since from our joint stands we have on the major exhibitions in the maritime industries, be it the SMM in Hamburg or the North Shipping in Oslo, for example, I know that we are offering hydraulic or intelligent solutions for the hydraulic systems as well. And I know that we are able to reduce, for example, hydraulic tank sizes by 50%. So, and by offering these tank size solutions or reductions, basically, it's not just the space requirements. It's also, of course, if you reduce the space by 50% or the tank size by 50%, you also reduce the weight significantly. And here it comes again to carbon neutrality, or to reduce the carbon footprint of a vessel again.
So as we see, HYDAC is present in all applications, not just filtration. Benjamin, it was a pleasure to have you here with me, and you gave us a really great insight into the HYDAC universe. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
And as we see, rising energy costs will change shipping, that is certain. But with the right solutions, it will be possible to face the challenges ahead. If you are looking for energy efficient solutions to reduce the CO2 emissions of your machinery, please feel free to contact HYDAC. You can reach us at industry@hydac.com. Benjamin Herrling and his colleagues will be happy to help you.